Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, Dan and Norm. Great to be back in the studio.
Yeah, nice fall day. Almost fall.
Almost fall. Air conditioners keep it on for maybe just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
and by the way, welcome back from vacation, Norm. I hope you had a good time.
It was great. Alaska.
All right.
So, John Ferretti, he's the new Hempstead supervisor. I just saw something crossed from Newsday. Apparently, there was a contentious board meeting that took place earlier today. People protesting. They feel a little bit like there's a quick change. Clavin stepped down, got, some sort of cushy job somewhere within the ranks. And they moved this guy up, and now he's the incumbent as they go for re-election. So a lot of people protesting.
I have no idea who he is. I don't know where he came from. I don't know anything about him. I do know that he's probably in for Clavin because Clavin's taxes look like they're going to go through the roof this year, and probably is worried about being reelected.
Yeah.
So do we have any idea what the process was to get this guy appointed, or it was just, hey, we
Purely
name it?
political.
I think they just swapped him out. I don't think there was any process. I think this was inside pool, and I don't know. It's a good question. I think that's what people want to know. It's like, how does this happen without any process?
Stay tuned for more on this story. Is all I'll say.
Yeah. Again, just happened a couple of hours earlier. So the next story for me is really important, and it's almost like breaking news. Although I think for those who are listening are going to say what. So, Norm, if you remember when we first started Echo, I used to complain all the time about broken sidewalks and about the rules for the town of Hempstead. And this was like a huge issue, and I always would point to my neighbor who had this huge, like 1.5 foot raised slab from a tree trunk that I've been here well over 20 years. He never fixed it. Well, guess what? He finally fixed it. So I couldn't believe my eyes. I went by and I saw that not only this patch but some other patches were fixed as well.
I've seen the same thing on Roosevelt and on Adams. So I don't know if it's something in the air or somebody's going around giving warnings.
Well, you know what? That's possible. Now, I was walking earlier, maybe like 2 months ago, and I saw someone, I believe it was from Nassau County, it could have been Town of Hempstead, who was literally walking around with a camera taking pictures of sidewalks. It seemed a little odd to me, which is why I remembered it. And I kept thinking maybe they're looking for violations, which is not how I understand, you get ticketed. It's kind of you get ticketed when people complain, was what I understood. But, maybe things have changed. Don't know.
Oh, maybe there's a new town supervisor around.
And he's been listening to us for years. And he said, we want to make the Echo folks happy, and, we're going to fix sidewalks.
Check a voicemail. Maybe he gave us a call.
It should only happen. So, I like to walk around a lot and, go to Hall's Pond. There's been a bunch of Facebook threads about people being upset about feeding the wildlife. And there's also people commenting saying, I like to feed the wildlife and we feed them safe food. But then at the end of the day, there's just, bird poop all over the place, which makes walking by Hall's Pond almost impossible.
Right, and then people are asking the Department of Public Works or Parks to go and clean it up. I mean, if you make the mess, clean it up yourself. Bring a broom and clean it. But they're not about to do it, and they've said so at the last public meeting.
Yeah, it's really disgusting. You would really think at a minimum they take power washers and at least clean the walkways so people can walk around and not have to dance through the minefields.
Yeah, they have these mechanical cleaners. They can drive one up and down.
Oh, that's true.
Take 2 seconds to drive it around the park.
Yeah. Well, I'd ask another question of our good friend Maureen over at the Civic Association is, if they've put together various days over at the park to help for cleanup. There's plenty of people in town that own power washers. Could we get some of them to volunteer their time once a month or something to come down and clean it up?
Yeah, that's a great idea. So, Halls Pond, forever, just a wreck, and that's what it is. So we got back to school, and the West Hempstead School District is now open for classes, and amazing Rams start, and exciting.
Yeah, sure. The first day of school is always amazing for kids.
Yeah, they get to run around in the classrooms.
I certainly hope they're not running around
in the hallways and being very organized in the buses and all that good stuff.
But Joe Verone called us out on a real problem in the park.
Yeah, it's so funny because sometimes things are right in front of you and you really don't look or notice. So Joe sent us a picture of a dead tree, a rotted tree, in Chestnut Street playground, and he wanted to know, is the school aware of it? So I didn't know. I felt bad reaching out to Superintendent Dan Riemann because this was like the first day of school, and I think he has a lot of things to deal with and just dealing with me. And I just said, this is the picture, blah blah blah. To Superintendent Riemann's benefit, and he got back to me right away, and he said, no, we're aware, we're taking it down, and they're dealing with it. So appreciate Joe pointing it out because clearly it could be a safety issue, and it's fantastic to know that the school's on top of it.
I'm sure the public schools are busy. HANC is busy. HANC is open.
Yeah, what's going on there?
This Thursday will be the first day of school for the kids, and that is exciting.
So this is in the new building,
right? They've planted acres of sod. They've got acres of blacktop for playgrounding area and parking. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see the first days of school.
Yeah, so, I can tell you that among other things, I was on Instagram earlier, and Hank had published that the teachers were coming in today to get their classrooms ready and all the rest of it. Obviously, it's a really, really big deal, and it's great to see it open. I know categorically they're still working on some parts of the building. Some that's going to take a little bit more time to get completely ready, but should be a nice, beautiful new building for all the Hank kids to come to, and it should be great.
Right. Yeah. So the existing building that was there, which was the lowest school building, was completely gutted. It will be the lunchroom in the future, and it's supposed to open sometime, probably by the end of October.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the gym as well is in that same space.
Yeah, so that's great. And what's happening to the old facility across from the Young Israel?
Yeah, so we haven't heard too much about it. I mean, it's part of the Young Israel now.
Yeah, there's still conversations going on. Obviously, there's steps that have to be taken, but the Young Israel will be completing purchase of that building at some point in the near future is the plan, so far as I know.
All right, great. So, we're just talking about Ram Pride. Just want to remind our Jewish audiences, in case they didn't realize it, that Rosh Hashanah is beginning Monday night, September 22nd. And if you happen to be walking around town, especially during by a synagogue, and you happen to hear a ram's horn, even like today or tomorrow, that's because they blow the ram's horn every day in synagogue for the last month leading up to Rosh Hashanah. So if you thought you were hearing things, you're not. It's a real ram's horn.
It's absolute Ram Pride right there. Right?
I was at a cruise ship, and they were blowing it on the cruise ship.
That's great.
Half the people wanted to put on their life preservers.
So the West Hempstead Westerners, they're our local fire department drill team, and they're celebrating a super successful summer season. They placed in the top 5 across 7 competitions. They recently placed 4th overall in the New York State Championship, their first top 5 finish since 2017. And they took first place in July at the Nassau County Drills.
So what do they? They have a cabinet in their fire department upstairs that's filled with trophies. So is that what they get? They get trophies?
I guess so. Trophies, bragging rights.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just pretty cool. I actually saw a video clip of this, and I don't know if this was exactly this, but the people like running. They were in this hot rod, and they were like boomed down the street with a hose, and then they connected it, and then they shot up within like 3 seconds, went like 100 yards. I don't know.
I can tell you, I'm looking at their Facebook page right now, and they, in fact, finished overall county point champions for the second year in a row. So congratulations to our very successful fire department drill team.
Yeah, and volunteers. Wow, unbelievable. So I think now's a good time for us to take a quick commercial break.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wenger, owner and operator of Tiffany Dry Cleaners. We've made things even easier. Schedule a cleaning pickup just with one click on our new app or website. And don't forget, we offer free pickup, delivery right to your door. Tiffany Dry Cleaners gets it just right.
So Norm, interested in tango lessons?
Not really.
Oh, okay, well.
My wife would love it.
So, yeah, there you go. So at the library, they're giving tango lessons every Thursday in September, 10:30 to 12 p.m., $20, no partners required, which I thought was a little bit weird because it does take two to tango, right? But, and of course, it checks only. No, I'm not going to rant. Dan. I'm just going to keep moving. But again, if you don't know how to make out a check, reach out to Echo, and we'll actually teach you how to write checks. The Children's Museum Pass. There's an update that as of September 1st, the Children's Museum Pass is all digital. It's no longer physical. It will admit one adult and one child per family. You can go to the library and pick that up. The one point of note here is that the Long Island Children's Museum in general, I'm not sure, when's the last time you guys have gone there.
It's outdated.
It's outdated. They haven't updated it in literally like 20 plus years.
There's a spectacular one in Staten Island.
There's ones all over. I was in Columbus, Ohio, and there was one that was just so state of the art and unbelievable. And you go here, and they have the set of News 12 from 1972, whatever. It's just ridiculous.
So what you're saying is, since I haven't been to the museum in probably 10 years, nothing has changed.
Nothing.
I haven't missed anything.
Every exhibit is exactly the same. Just layers.
Maybe that's our new supervisor's job, is to take a look at that.
Layers of crud all over. So in local politics, we just published an interview with Olena Nix. Olena is the Democratic candidate in the newly redistricted Nassau 5th Legislative District. She's running against Moshe Hill. So if you got a chance, swing by our YouTube or our Facebook account. Dan, I think also we're putting something up on Instagram.
Yep, I got some work to do to get that ready, but I will be getting that ready. We'll have at least some clips of some of the stuff that she talked about. And I want to give her a lot of credit because it was absolutely pouring.
Oh my God!
We met in Halls Pond Park. Thank God for the for the gazebo, so that at least we stayed out of the rain. But it
was a wild. It was like the one day it rained like all summer, and it was just coming down. But she stuck with it. There's also links to the Moshe Hill interview that we did, so you can kind of get a real good idea of which candidate you're interested in. So I was going through my mail, and as I'm cleaning up my mail, I realized that there's just this whole stack of junk mail.
I have about a dozen of them here.
And it's like I'm getting like 2 or 3 of these things a day. They all either get ripped up or they get thrown out. But I thought maybe we'd see if we learn something by by all this tax dollars going for.
There's some very important notices here. I mean, one's from National Grid, online excavator safety course. So if you're planning on operating an excavator on your property, this is an absolute course you must take.
So this really applies to a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if people are going to use it to fix their sidewalks, maybe it's not such a bad deal.
There you go.
And the Town of Hempstead family has the 9/11 Sunrise Memorial, which is a town park in Point Lookout. That's going to be on September 11th. That's on Thursday.
That's a good one.
That's a worthwhile one. The weekend passport days, this is by appointment only at Hempstead Town Hall on September 13. That's a Saturday, so you need to call them up. It's from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
And then you can lower your taxes. In West Hempstead, they have a seminar
Yeah.
again, and you're going to need it this year. September 15th and October 17th. That's with John Ferretti. I don't know who he is.
Yes.
You ever hear that
But
name
he's
before?
already on all the new
I
mailings.
see his
So
pictures here.
yeah.
Oh, he's a supervisor. Look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go figure.
All
How'd
right.
that happen?
Yeah. There we go.
So, by the way, we're talking about all of this, and in the meantime, I'm also getting all these things telling me that some politician is the devil, and their opponent is a saint reincarnated.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I'm just kind of like, all of you people, go away and stop wasting trees on this. By the way, the one we didn't mention is one I got today, which is, by the way, there's going to be a job fair at the Nassau Coliseum some point. I don't know, October. I didn't read it carefully enough, but look, at least some of these things from the town are actually meaningful for people. The stuff from people saying don't vote for my opponent because he's going to strangle your kittens or something, it's just like, enough, stop.
Yeah, and again, we just looked at a fraction of them. There are tons of smear campaigns against candidates.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't even know who's running. It's just that someone's saying, "Don't vote for this other guy because he's terrible."
Right.
But they don't even tell you who they're running against. It's just
Or what for.
Or they tell you they're going to lower taxes, they just don't tell you how.
Yeah.
So they have a magic wand. They should share it with people.
And then the miracle happens.
It's just a mess. So anyway, moving on. There's a good local clothing drive called Yad Leah, which will be donating clothes for Israel. It's going to be open Sunday, October 26th at BTU, which is on Hempstead Avenue. So
That's a very good cause. As is the Lupus Foundation, which comes around on a regular basis.
They're great.
Salvation Army is another great place to donate.
Yeah.
Don't throw clothes away.
Yeah,
it really is a sin to throw it away.
I happen to love working with Lupus. They're all digital. That you leave bags out front. They leave a receipt. Again, lots of choices. If you got good clothes, make sure that someone else gets a chance to wear them.
Sure.
All right, so just wrapping things up. Dan, looking at restores, I know they got a lot of back to school stuff going
They
on.
got plenty of back to school stuff. They had a bunch of stuff for Labor Day. I can't see anything what's specifically on sale, but listen, you can get some absolutely fabulous stuff there if you want something to eat. I do note, and I'll call this out on their behalf, they're actually looking for part-time counter help. So if you're interested, stop by the bakery and file an application.
Yeah, and I love babka. So now they're making round babka, both chocolate and cinnamon. So.
Right.
Another thing that I need for my diet, but they're always trying something new over at Restores. So I think, Norm, that's going to wrap it up
Okay.
for this week, and I want to thank everyone for hanging in. Hope you learned something new. Hope you check your sidewalks, get them fixed. Have a great week.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reester's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.